So let's start with the announcement which was made earlier today on the Korean servers about the huge Season 2 changes in Lost Ark. I want to make sure that you know this is not live yet, all those things which I'm gonna mention down below, and it will be most likely live first in Korea, and there's actually a high chance that the Japanese version will start with those Season 2 changes. And if we ever should get EUNA release, there is also a huge chance that we're going to start with this, because with those changes they will fix a lot of issues with early issues which players complained about. So let's start, and for all those things which I'm going to mention down below, it is good to know the basics of the game. So if you don't know anything about the game, some stuff might be hard to understand why it is a good change or not. So first of all, we're gonna have a tutorial mode. You can see here, like, not only like tutorial mission, you can enter it and do some tests, basic CCs, immunities, how skills work. Everything will be explained in a tutorial. What I can see is here, like here you can see the dodge, how you can recover from ground, how to charge a skill, how to do a combo skill, and so on. And that's a really good thing, because a lot of players who jump into PvP are struggling with the CCs. Most of them feel like, I'm all the time on the ground, I don't know what to do and how to counter it. And here's also super armor. So if super armor gets explained for new beginners or new players, that will help them a lot. So this is the practice mode which they're gonna add in Season 2. Next we will have here a lot of changes to the progress system. So let me go through the stuff. A space where we can practice, that's a tutorial mode, and appropriate guided missions. So there were a lot of missions where people were stuck, and you will get appropriate instructions to how to clear it. And if you use the English patch, most likely you're gonna have some issues with understanding it, but let's hope when we get a EUNA version we will have proper translations. And yeah, the other stuff which I mentioned, like how to use skills and so on. This here is character growth mission system, which means by leveling up your character and progressing gear score, which is called in Lost Ark item level wise, you're gonna get rewards. So once you reach a certain item level, you're gonna unlock rewards. So that will help players, or give players the opportunity to get some additional rewards while progressing gear wise. Next, a few other growth systems. Eliminate the growth method to polishing system through Acrasium, and this made people crazy. Tier 1 and Tier 2 gear need Acrasium, and Acrasium was daily gated, and it was so annoying to get those things. And they will remove it and put in a different method, which is a regeneration system. There's not much explained about it, but I hope, I mean, it can be only better than Acrasium. So people who will start or we're gonna join the Japanese or an EUNA version won't feel the pain we felt when we started on the Russian or Korean servers. They're gonna delete the runes. Thank God, they were so annoying. Tier 1 and Tier 2, similar to Tier 1, Tier 2 Acrasium on the Tier 1, Tier 2 gear, and on Tier 2.5 gear you had to put in runes. For all those players who know the game, like, resistance runes to counter damage of some guardians, otherwise they're going to one-shot you, something like that. So that was still annoying, and they're going to remove it. And next we have content removed in Season 2, additional contents. We are planning to eliminate Untitled Nightmare. That's currently one of the contents which a lot of people do, especially in the Russian servers, to farm tokens. And it's just annoying. You just go in, do the dungeon for 2 minutes, and you do it like the entire day if you need a lot of tokens. And I hope they will make it like more fun to get those tokens, which are required to upgrade every gear above Tier 3 gear or above. Everything starting from Yarn. Next we have, they're gonna delete the labyrinths. And similar to Antares, it's like Labyrinth Farm. Not a challenge at all. It feels like a chore to do it again and again. So they're gonna add a fatigue system so that it won't feel repetitive. But I'm pretty sure like if they do something like that, they're gonna also increase the rewards so that you won't miss out anything. They're gonna delete the event chaos dungeons. Not sure what they want, like with what they want to replace it. Maybe they're gonna add those rewards to the normal chaos dungeons, and you will get you know, more rewards, and you don't have to do the daily thing again. So they are getting rid of a lot of daily stuff which were annoying and felt like homework. A lot of people mocked this game with, you know, homework, Lost Ark. So with all those deleting the daily stuff, they're helping a lot of players who actually don't have time to play 4 hours per day, because a lot of dailies, if you have a few owls, it's gonna take you like hours to finish all the dailies. Weekly rates are deleted, but we plan to provide them as a periodic event considering various ways. Okay, so basically weekly rates, instead of the weekly rates, we're gonna get something similar to event rates. We have the winter events, and they're gonna add something like that instead of the weekly rates. So it's gonna rotate, and it will be gear equalized. The issue with the current weekly rates are you have to do it, but once you have a higher item level, you just go in and, you know, you finish it in a few minutes and you are out, but it still feels like, ah, come on, I don't want to do it, but I have to do it. So if they add more weekly rates with the idea of winter event, which is gear equalized, it will be more challenging and more fun. We are planning to delete the card battle system. All those people, and I'm pretty sure that's a minority, who likes card battle system, sorry for you guys, but overall this is a great change, because 99% of the player base doesn't care about the card battles, and if they remove resources or like time they're going to invest to revamp the system from card battle system away and put it more towards stuff which work currently in Lost Ark, it will benefit everyone. So yeah, just get rid of those stuff which no one cares about. Next we have reorganized or revamped systems. So not deleted system, but, you know, revamped and updated system. The new chaos dungeon system. So we, instead of the stuff like, instead of event chaos dungeon and the old chaos dungeon we will have a new chaos dungeon. And this here is the fatigue bar. At least I think it's a fatigue bar, which is similar to Epona's daily. So you are not forced to do everyday chaos dungeon or the daily chaos dungeons. And if you miss out one day, it feels like you lost a lot of items. And if they add a fatigue bar, this will help you a lot, because you can take a break for 1 or 2 or 3 days. And once you are back and do the chaos dungeon, you will get increased rewards depending on how much fatigue bar you have filled up. So that's a great thing. Not sure how exactly the new chaos dungeon will work, but it looks pretty similar to Reverse Ruin. And apparently they will be completely reorganized, and they want to prevent monotonous running, so like, you know, the boring stuff. So pretty excited to see that. Next change, they're gonna split up Cillian's Command. So I think they're gonna get rid of Cillian's Command overall, and they're gonna split all the Cillian's Command activities. They didn't mention Boss Rush, to be honest, and I think they might remove Boss Rush. Because you can see here a cube, a platinum field, and oh, is this Boss Rush? Might be Boss Rush. Okay, so this might be Boss Rush. So they're gonna split it up, and you don't use shared Cillian's Command for those things, and you will have separate tickets for each of those. So you can do all those things in a separate way, and we won't have a ticket limit either. So if the reason we had the ticket limit, or the issue which was caused by the 10 ticket limit, is you had the feeling you have to do it before, you know, it stacks up to maximum, and every day after that you're gonna lose tickets, and it's gonna go into the void every time after the reset. So by removing the limit of the tickets, you can just do it whenever you want, and you're not forced. It doesn't belong to the category of dailies anymore. So you can still make gold from cube runs and get materials for life skill and use it or sell it in the auction house, and boss rush for your own upgrade materials or engravings, but they will be separated and will consume separate tickets. Yeah, they're removing the maximum limit, and they're going to add a workshop. So this is a bad translation because I'm using Google Translation, and they're going to add to a lot of contents workshop. And the workshop is something which you know from GVEs or winter event. Once you enter it, there is a circle, and you can go in the circle at the beginning and still change your builds or your combat items. So it happens a lot that you are doing stuff too fast and just enter and forget to change the items, and you're stuck with the wrong items and so on. So they're gonna add workshops for those things that you can change stuff once you are in the in those instance or contents. Yeah, and next they're gonna change the guardian rates. It's gonna be amazing. There are a lot of stuff which they mentioned, so I'm gonna go one by one. So currently the guardian rate, which has the size of 4 people, is just to have overall it's too easy, and they're gonna address that issue with all those changes. They're gonna remove the apprentice mode, which is the easy mode, and they're also going to change the expert mode. So there will be one difficulty, and it will scale. And the challenge difficulty is changed to 3 types of guardian each week. So we will also have an additional tab, which will be most likely a challenger difficulty, and it will rotate every week. And audio difficulty maintains from challenge for honor in similar way. Yeah, the audio difficulty is, I think, something similar to nightmare difficulty, where you can get titles by clearing it, and it's insanely hard to clear. In all guardian raids, you will have the workshop, which means once you enter the guardian raid, before you attack the guardian or go for the guardian, you can still change your build or your items. Especially if you queue up with randoms and you go in like matchmaking and you meet the people once you're in the guardian raid, you can still talk with them and change some items if you want, and replace useless or combat items which everyone, if you have double combat items slotted in your party. Braveheart are exhausted. Okay, this is I think the souls, guardian souls, and which means like we don't have separate guardian souls anymore. Currently we have for each tier 3 guardian souls. You can of course increase those by adding tickets up to 3 more times, but every tier you can do harvest 3 guardian souls from each of the tier, or like from one of the tier guardians in each tier. After this, you have only 3 souls in total, so you are not obligated or you forced to kind of farm every tier to min-max. So you go most likely for the highest one you can do, or for the one which gonna drop an engraving which you need. So less guardians to farm, less daily stuff kind of. Another thing is they're gonna change the way guardians vibe, the guardian run vibes. So currently, if you go into a normal mode or higher difficulty guardian raids, you have 3 orbs. If 3 members or people in your party die 3 times, or in total 3 times, you have no life left, and the next death will trigger a wipe. This will be changed once we have season 2. You still have 3 life orbs, but after that, everyone who dies won't be able to revive. So this will help you to keep going even if you are only the last one remaining and all the orbs are exhausted. It's gonna keep going, or you can still keep trying until the last guy dies without an orb. And of course, if you are dead and there's no orb, you can go into a spectator mode. So you are not like just in the dead screen and staring on the ground. You can switch between those players who are still alive and watch them. The ability to stop subjugation. This means even if you already entered the Guardian raid, you have a vote system. You can vote to leave the Guardian. For example, If you go in and see one guy is just doing everything wrong and fucks up your raid, you can vote and leave as a raid. If you just use the song to quit, currently if you use that, you will have a penalty and you can't enter raids for 15 minutes or 10 or 15 minutes. So that's a great change too, to waste, like you can prevent those players who wants to leech or just save some time. There will be some ranking records you can backtrack, like the fastest clear, stuff like that, I guess. They will add a new Guardian raid arena, and the current arenas where you fight Guardian raids, there are I think 4 different: the fog, the desert, aggression one, and the ice. They're gonna make it easier that you can move between the platforms faster. It's a lot of, like, most of the time, if you're fucked by RNG and the boss teleports from one end to another end, you waste like 2 to 3 minutes just for running from one place to another. So I hope this will fix it. The Guardian's health will be adjusted to the number of entries, and the Guardian subdue apprentice difficulty rate or difficulty level will be removed. I explained that already earlier. No apprentice difficulty, and the biggest thing here is the health of the Guardian will scale depending on the number of the party members. So I guess if you are 4 people, it might be more difficult than what we have already, and if you want to do it solo, it might be easier than going with 4 people currently. So it will scale, and it will help you if you are really good at it, you can do it easily solo, or like easier compared to currently. And if you have 4 people, this might make it more challenging and also more rewarding. Next, we have Eponas. Daily Eponas will be the same. It's totally fine. It's only 3 Eponas. We will remove the weekly Eponas, and they will make they will add a different system with a research function. So not sure what they're gonna do, so we have to wait and see how it will be. Based on the number of Epona commissioned, we will add a system to receive bonus rewards on weekly basis. That's great. I think it is similar to the current PvP system. Based on how much PvP you do, at the end of the week you're gonna get rewards. And I guess it's something like this year. I guess the more Epona daily you clear, so if you do every day 3 to 5 Eponas, there is of course a cap, and you did it every week, you're gonna get more rewards. Next, we have the Abyss dungeon added, and I think those are like the story dungeons, or a lot of dungeons which you enter during the story mode or during the main quest. You don't see them anymore, so those gonna be added as Abyss raids with higher difficulty, I guess. So pretty exciting, more content to do, and it doesn't feel like a daily stuff. And I don't know what it's gonna give you as a reward though, so we have to check it out. They just mentioned here all those new dungeons we're gonna get on Abyss. Oh, okay, so it is composed like similar to Boss Rush. Interesting. We have to check. I can't like. It can't be it's the same like a Boss Rush. There has to be some difference between all those dungeons, so we have to wait and see. Arrangements of the currencies. Oh my god, this is a big thing. We will integrate the shilling and pirate coin on expedition basis, so those will be added to expedition stuff, I guess. They're gonna also delete a lot of currencies which are barely used. Lupeon Seal, Cillian's Order, as mentioned, we won't have this. We will have a different one. Cashew seeds, no one cares about this, and there are a bunch of other currencies which will be deleted and most likely replaced with a simpler currency. A lot of new players struggle to find out where to get this and where can I trade it and so on. So this will make a lot of stuff simpler and less annoying. Currency convert item, yeah, a lot of old currencies will be replaced with new currencies, and you're gonna unify multiple currencies to a simpler one once they lose their purpose. Reducing the daily content burden. So that's what I already mentioned earlier, are based on weekly play. So the Abyss Dungeon and Abyss Raids, which I explained earlier, are weekly based, similar to Mystic Raids. And Cillian's Order won't be accumulated 3 times per day. So you won't get the new Cillian's Order 3 times per day. You have other contents which will give you those Cillian's Orders. And you won't have a cap for that anymore, as mentioned earlier. And this is the fatigue system, which we have in the in the Eponas. We will also have it for Chaos Dungeon and for Guardians, as mentioned earlier. Secret maps will be the same as Season 1, but they will ease the burden frequency reducing. So okay, so we won't have get secret maps that often, but in exchange for that, they will increase the amount of rewards you're gonna get. Currently, there are a lot of map farming groups, so you do like 20 maps per day in a rotation, and that takes a lot of time. So this is gonna make it easier. Followership. This is something with the islands. They are announced we're gonna get like in Korea, they're gonna get like personalized islands. Kind of like housing system where you can add all those NPCs where you have affinity with. You can give them a task to dispatch, like collect materials, and they're gonna apparently add a dispatch function for Guardian raids. So you can tell them, go and do this Guardian raids. Maybe you're gonna get like reduced amount of rewards, but it's something. Or tell them to do some Cillian's Order related stuff. That's amazing. They're gonna remove the luck system from the sea content, and all the sea contents will be removed, like sea activities, not the contents, like diving and so on. It feels like it was interesting at the beginning, but currently it's just most of the people don't even bother with it anymore, and it just feels like another daily task. So it's great that they remove it. And I'm gonna make it pretty short here because it's already pretty long, this video, or yeah, during the stream currently. And they're gonna change or revamp the rewards for all the collectibles. So masterpieces, giant heart, island hearts, and so on, like adventure stuff. We will have a better overview and different rewards. Of course, a new UI. This is now combat related changes. They will add head attack. So similar to back attack, where you deal more damage if you attack a boss from behind with specific skills, some classes will get head attack. And I can totally imagine that warlords, for example, will get, instead of back attack, head attack skills. So most of the time you tank as a warlord, so it makes more sense that some of your skills are amplified by head attack instead of back attack. Similar to that, we will also have counter attack, so you can time specific skills and use them to counter attack and deal additional damage. So there will be, if you can do it perfectly, you will deal more damage, and if you fuck it up, there might be small penalties, like just wasted cooldown or something like that. They're gonna rework the stagger system, super armor. I have to wait and see how exactly they're gonna change the things. They're gonna delete unused or barely used combat items. There are plenty of combat items that no one uses, and they're gonna add new combat items. This looks like a portal. Don't know what it's gonna do. Workshop mobile portal. So maybe you can just summon during the raid fast workshop and then replay some items. Time stop potions. Okay, so freeze the enemy, and pheromone bomb, like taunt, most likely like taunting the mobs around you, like a free taunt kinda. That looks amazing. Improving the structure circulation cities. I'm gonna make it short because of all those new changes of the they're gonna split up the Cillian's command related stuff, and they will have new places. They need to rework the cities too, and a lot of NPCs in cities, especially in Yorn, are kinda hidden, and you have to use the elevator, and it's just annoying. So they want to improve all those pathings and also the graphic quality. Okay, so that's it. I think I was talking for feels like 20 minutes. Once again, those are the changes which Korea will get first, and hopefully Japanese version will get it right from the start. And if you ever get it to EUNA, if you ever get a EUNA version, hopefully we will start with this, because that's gonna make a lot of people happier, and there will be less annoying dailies. Great changes overall. I like everything. I don't think there's anything which I would like, that's a bad thing to do. So what are your opinion, guys? I'm gonna most likely upload later on YouTube. If you have any questions, you can ask in the YouTube comments or now on the stream. Thank you very much.